Welcome back to ValorKnight. Today we're doing something a little bit different on the channel. We are going to play Marvel Champions, the card game. For today, our villain that we are facing is Rhino, and we're going to be playing on the Skirmish difficulty mode. This is just so that new players might be able to see just kind of how a couple rounds of the game works. What that means is we just have to defeat this one version of Rhino. He has 14 hit points, as we can see here. And we are bringing on our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man using the pre-built Peter Parker deck that comes with the core box. We're going to go ahead and shuffle that up. For our modular set, we're using the Bomb Scare. The beautiful thing about Marvel Champions is you pick a hero and you pick a villain, and then there are plenty of modular sets that you can put into the encounter deck to totally customize your experience, and you can play it in multiple difficulty modes, including skirmish mode, normal mode. There's even a heroic mode and an expert mode that are more difficult challenges, but today we're just going to go through the basics of the game. The main scheme is the break-in. Rhino is attacking a shield facility, so we advance to stage 1B. Which says Rhino is trying to smash through the facility wall and steal a shipment of vibranium. You must stop him. If this stage is completed, the players lose the game. So our goal is going to be to take Rhino's 14 hit points for skirmish mode. Normally, in a normal game, you're going to advance to a second stage where he's going to have more hit points, but we're going to try to take him down before we either lose our 10 hit points or he gets 7 threat on the main scheme and accomplishes his main scheme. So moving into the round step of our player turn, we look at our alter ego form, Peter Parker, and I can flip over to show Spider-Man. Our alter ego form has a hand card of 6, so we're going to shuffle our deck and draw 6 cards. So a couple of things I see immediately that I really like. I really like swinging web kick. We only need to do 14 damage. This deals 8 damage to an enemy. We also see backflip here, which will reduce any amount of damage to 0, just totally prevent damage. So going into our player phase, we're allowed to flip our hero once per turn and then exhaust him. So first thing you notice is that Peter Parker says, Scientist resource, generate a resource, limit once per round. The cool thing about Marvel Champions is you pay for cards. You see the cost in the top left corner of 3. You pay for them using other cards. That is, you discard other cards to pay for cards. I want to keep the backflip in hand, but I'd like to play swinging web kick. I need to be able to discard 2 cards. We're going to use Peter Parker's resource ability to generate 1 resource. We need 2 more. So we're going to discard Spider Tracer, and we're going to discard First Aid to deal 8 damage to an enemy. That knocks Rhino all the way down to 6. And then this is an event, so we go ahead and discard that card. Then we look down here and we see Surveillance Team. Exhaust Surveillance Team and remove a counter from it to remove a threat from a scheme. And then we notice this card, the Power of Justice. It says double the number of resources this card generates while playing for a Justice card, which is yellow. So Surveillance Team is yellow. It costs 2. We want to play that. This gives us 2 resources because we double the number because we're playing for a Justice card. And so we can discard that to pay for this, and it gets 3 counters, and I can use those counters to lower the scheme. Then we're going to flip Peter Parker into his hero form, Spider-Man, and we are going to activate him to attack for 2 more damage on Rhino. So Rhino is down to 4 hit points. At the end of our turn, we're going to ready up, and then we're going to draw cards until we hit our hand size, which in hero form is only 5. We have 1 card, so we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. We got Daredevil, Haymaker, Enhanced Spider Sense, and Interrogation Room. Now it's the villain's turn. So the first thing we do is we place a threat on the main scheme. It says we place 1 per player. Then the villain activates. So Rhino, if I'm in my alter ego form, Rhino will scheme, which is to say he will try to put more threat on the main scheme. If my hero is in hero form, which in this case Spider-Man is, Rhino's going to attack. He's going to attack with a base of 2 damage, but we're going to deal him a boost card, which could potentially boost that damage. Now, I'm going to not block this attack. If you take it undefended, it just goes to your hit points. But we've got plenty of hit points, and I've got a backflip just in case. So we'll go ahead and see the boost card. You can see the two little red star-ish looking things in the bottom left hand of the breaking and taking card. That's the boost. So this would boost Rhino's attack up to 4. 2 boost plus his current attack of 2 would be 4 damage. We're going to go ahead and use backflip to cancel all of that damage. So that damage does not happen. I take no damage. Then we deal 1 encounter card per player. So we get our counter card, and we will reveal that encounter card. Shadow of the Past. Okay, this is probably the worst possible card we could have gotten. It says, reveal your set-aside Nemesis minion and put it into play engaged with you. Reveal the set-aside Nemesis scheme and put it into play. So the cool thing about Marvel Champions is not only can you customize the villain by doing different modular sets, but each hero has a set-aside Nemesis villain that when you draw Shadow of the Past or a couple of other effects later in the game, you can bring that Nemesis into the game. They're usually very difficult to deal with. That being said, I don't want to deal with the Nemesis, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we have this interrupt in our hand, Enhanced Spider Sense. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effect. We're going to discard Daredevil because we're not going to be able to pay for him anyways to play Enhanced Spider Sense. That's going to cancel the when revealed effect of this card and discard it. And then we can move back to our player turn. Now, Rhino has 4 health left. So what we're going to do is we can't quite do Haymaker because we don't have 2 resources. I could flip and then deal 3 damage. And that might not be a horrible idea. So we're going to flip Spider-Man over to Peter Parker. We're going to use his ability to generate a resource. And then we're going to pay for with Interrogation Room to swing with Haymaker, dealing 3 damage to an enemy. He's down to 1. And again, on Skirmish mode, we're just trying to take him to 0 to win. Then we're going to use our Surveillance team to remove a counter from it, to remove a threat from the break-in. And we'll discard that card. Then we're going to go to Ready, and we're going to draw our hand size, which is 6 cards. We got Great Responsibility, Tenacity, Web Shooter, Strength, which you notice discards for 2 resources in the bottom left corner. Then Heroic Intuition and another Surveillance team. I think this will be a good way to show what happens when you're in your alter ego form during the villain phase. So we put our 1 threat on the scheme. Rhino goes not to attack because we're in our alter ego form. He goes to scheme. He's going to get a boost card for that. We flip it over. There is no boost icon on this card, hard to keep down. So he's simply going to add 1 additional threat. And then we're going to give ourselves an encounter card and reveal it. And the card is the Bomb Scare. So this is an additional scheme. I'll put it up here. When revealed, we place an additional threat here. And it has an acceleration icon, which means we place an additional threat on the main scheme at the start of the villain phase. We definitely don't want that, but once we remove the... Okay, it says when revealed, place an additional 1 threat here. So it starts with 2. In the bottom where it says Bomb Scare, you can see it says 2, so that should actually start with 3, an additional 1 plus 1 threat per person. So if we deal with this, this will lose its acceleration counter, which I'm trying to remember which button gives it an acceleration counter. There we go. Otherwise, we just go straight back into our turn as a player, and the fastest way to end this game is to flip back to Spider-Man, attack for 2, and that's going to deal 2 damage to Rhino. He has been defeated. Now normally we would move on to the second stage, but since we're playing Skirmish mode today, just to show off this game, Rhino has been defeated, the game is over, and we are victorious. I hope this might pique your interest in a game. You know, I just noticed something. It says when I am attacked, I'm supposed to draw a card. So a couple turns ago, I was supposed to draw a card. It doesn't matter now. But I hope this might pique your interest in Marvel Champions if you've never tried it. I might see about doing some more videos on this game going forward, but this just might be a nice introduction to a great